Hello and welcome to the Denver Homes Market Report. This is Ricky.schoonover of Mode Denver Real Estate. I want to thank you for tuning in to our 10th episode of this third season. It's hard to imagine we are coming up on our fourth year. You know, I record and publish this podcast on the first Thursday of each month. This February kind of snuck up on me, if I'm being honest. My husband asked me this morning, "What do you have going on today?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, it's the first Thursday. I have my podcast to record and get out there." So here I am. I just posted on my Instagram account a picture of me on the 16th floor of our office here at Mode Denver Real Estate. What a beautiful day, and the inspiration I needed to get my message out to you today. Last month was the first podcast of 2023, and I must say, I just listened back on it, and it was dreary. My goodness. Yes, the feds are raising interest rates to combat inflation. However, when you look at the statistics, guess what? Denver is resilient. Homeowners here in Denver are not afraid, and my goodness, buyers are loving the shifting of the tides to a more balanced real estate market. Now, did you buy a home last year around this time? Or should I say, did you attempt to buy a home around this time last year? If you don't remember, we were in the seller's markets of all sellers markets. I mean, I've been selling real estate for 23 years now. I have never in my 23 years seen sellers finding buyers out there who were willing and so motivated. They were offering $100,000 over the asking price. They were waiving all sorts of inspections. They were afraid to ask the sellers to fix anything. Sellers were also getting deals where they could stay in their homes for up to 60 days, and in some cases, totally free, even after they'd already sold their home to the new buyers. Buyers were clamoring to lock in on those 3 to 4% interest rates. But seriously, at what cost? In the end, it's all about balance. It's all about trust, and it's all about transparency. So that was last year around this time. You know, the feds have raised the rates multiple times over the past 9 months or so. However, real estate markets have a way of balancing things out. And this is what I mean by that. Okay, so you did not lock in your rate at the sub 4% last year. So now you can never buy a home, right? No, that's wrong. And it's completely opposite. If you are looking to buy a home this year, now is a great time. Why do I say that? Well, I'm a realtor. I have to say that, right? No, I'm just kidding. Of course. Let me explain why now is a great time to buy a home. In fact, it's a great time to sell your home. But right now, let me speak to my home buyers out there. First of all, we have inventory. So what does that mean? It means houses are not hitting the market on Friday, and by Monday, there are multiple offers, all from buyers offering these stupid amounts of money, all competing for the same amount of these small number of homes out there. The statistics do not lie. Last year, January 2022, the median days a home was on the market was just 6 days. This past January 2023, that number is now around 37 days. That is just the median time frame. Of course, some homes are staying on the market for much longer, and of course, sellers who price their homes correctly are selling much faster. However, the median time, 6 days last year, January 2022, and 37 days this year, January 2023. So what does this mean for you buyers out there? It means you have more homes to choose from, more time to take your time to make your decision. Sellers can no longer fleece you for the 60 days of free living after you've already bought the home, and now you're on the hook for paying the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, and any HOA fees if there are any. That was easily a $5,000 to maybe even $7,000 gift that sellers were getting from buyers. You as a buyer in today's market have time to do all your due diligence, making sure the schools are right, the neighborhood is right, your commute to work is right. You are getting time for all your inspections. And if the home has serious issues, like the roof needs some repairs, or there is high radon and the home needs a mitigation system installed, or the sewer line has tree roots which have intruded and need to be cleared out, or that furnace has a cracked manifold and now is leaking a little bit of gas, guess what? The sellers have been waiting for an offer like yours to come along for over 2 months. They do not want to go back on the market. They would rather work with the buyer they have. Now the challenge is, if they cut you loose as the buyer, due to the repairs you were asking for, they now must disclose to the next buyer any latent defects they are now aware of. So guess what? They will likely need to fix those items anyway, or they'll have to reduce their price down to entice a buyer who would be willing to buy the home and then fix those defects on their own later. The last thing sellers want to do is lower the price by thousands of dollars and go back on market only to wait another 2 months or possibly longer and hopefully capture another buyer. They're much more willing in this market to work with you since you've already put in your offer to close the deal. Now, everyone loves a cherry on top, right? As if this buyer scenario could not get any better. Here's the cherry on top. In fact, I have 2 cherries. And the first one, the prices have dropped quite a bit. Some areas of Denver more than others, but I'm seeing homes that would have easily sold last year for $625,000, maybe even $650,000. Now, more than 2 months, finally capturing a buyer with a list price of below $600,000. And when that buyer finally comes along and puts in an offer that is now thousands of dollars less than even that lowered listing price. Now here's the real cherry on top of that cherry. Get this. Even with the lower offer, buyers are asking for, and in some cases getting, an additional gift at closing directly from the sellers, sometimes thousands of dollars as a credit to buyer, so the buyer can now buy their interest rate down and lock in a 30-year mortgage for lower than the going rate. This can save anywhere from half of a percentage point up to a full percentage point. So if rates are at, let's say 6.5%, but you are working with me as a buyer and we get that seller to agree to credit you $5,000 at closing, you may now be able to use that credit and get your rate into the 5% range. You may not even need to use all the $5,000 for the rate, leaving you with money left over to put towards your other closing costs. So ask yourself, who is doing better when it comes to buying a home? Folks, the market has a way of balancing itself out. Now, I want to shift my focus to sellers out there. You may be saying to yourself, well, last year I waited too long and I missed the boat on that seller's market. I can't sell now. I probably won't get the $100,000 over asking. I probably won't get 60 days post-close to live for free. The buyers will ask for me to fix everything in the house, etc., etc. Some of that may be true, but guess what? Buyers are out there. There is a pent-up demand. People are realizing that the interest rates are only one aspect of the overall home buying picture. Buyers know at some points rates will likely come down. And buying a home now with a lower price, although with a higher interest rate, they can refinance later. So sellers are getting more educated buyers, more patient buyers, buyers who have had time to really decide that your home is the home they plan to build their future with. Sellers are getting more well thought out offers and finding buyers who have made an offer. They are committed to that contract and they really want to buy your home. They are not just throwing an offer out on the wall to see if it sticks. They are buying your home because they have had time to really decide your home is the right one for them. So many deals last year fell apart for no other reason than the buyer just realized they jumped in with both feet. They offered on a home, maybe $100,000 over asking, that they didn't really love, and they backed out of the deals. Now, of course, last year there were so many buyers, sellers didn't care, right? I mean, they would cut one buyer loose and they would have 3 more offers the next day. But you get my point. Sellers have more confidence in the offer they are receiving today versus the craziness of last year. Buyers or sellers, if you try to focus on one aspect of the very complex and multifaceted, transactions we call real estate, maybe you only focus on price. Maybe you're focused on the interest rates. Maybe you focused on the high demand. All these factors are all moving targets. When one aspect gets tighter, you'll find that actually opens up to a benefit somewhere else in your transaction. And the offers you are either writing as a buyer or an offer to purchase that you are receiving as a seller, from the current pool of buyers. I cannot stress this enough. The market never lies. The market often changes its mind, but the market never lies. That is going to wrap up today's podcast. I hope you enjoy listening as much as I enjoy putting this together for you. The bottom line is we have found more balance in the market. Sellers are finding more well thought out offers. Buyers are finding they have more homes to choose from and more time to really do their due diligence, make sure that this home is the home that they're offering on is the right one for them. Buyers, sellers, and yes, us realtors, we all benefit when there is trust and transparency in the market. This is Ricky Schoonover, Mode Denver Real Estate. You are listening to Denver's monthly podcast, the Denver Homes Market Report. For those of you who don't know, I'm an avid art collector. I also give back to my community by serving on the board of the Arts District on Santa Fe. I have helped set up the gallery located at 858 Santa Fe Drive. Please go check out the new installation. Tomorrow is First Friday, so go support some local artists, collect some art, maybe grab some food at one of the many local restaurants or one of the food trucks that are set up there. Let's all work to support each other the best we can. If you have any questions, please call me 720-688-5110, or you can visit my website, www.denverhomesmarket.com. Thank you very much, and I'll check in with you next month.